Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, the League of Ordinary Gentlemen proudly bring to you the Fantasy Football 5.
Quattro.
Introducing Balls to the Wall, Brian Roberts.
That's Spanish for 4. Indeed.
Quick Wit, Slow Feet, Ryan Robertson. Jake, Coach Root. And JT, the commish. Nothing? Not even a titter?
I was trying to translate all those names into Spanish, but I was trying to figure it out. I couldn't remember.
I thought about that. I was like, man, I should do the whole intro in Spanish, but that's going to take a lot more time.
Well,
I think I can
the racism
invest.
that would come out of that accidentally, though.
Out of the four of us,
Yeah.
Jake's the one that's bilingual, so go ahead.
You got it? I don't even know how, ladies or gentlemen. I don't know what that is in Spanish.
Senors and senoritas.
Oh. Is it?
That's pretty simple.
Brian dated a Hispanic girl.
Easy.
You might be bilingual. Well, no, never mind.
Huh?
I'm going to stop.
Bilingual?
I'm going to stop.
What is that little poppy at?
Big Poppy. You know Big Poppy.
Yeah, but I don't want us to talk about my little pop. We've done good for so
My
long.
mother listens to this.
Yeah. We could. I guess we'll stop there.
All right, goodbye, boys.
Yeah.
Jim, wait. Good luck, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
What's your initial feelings on the fantasy basketball
JRR.
draft last night? Initial feelings. Did you get a couple guys you like? You took Goran Dragic. I saw that.
I did.
You got a guy I like.
So me and Brian got your favorite point guards, and you got Chris Paul. Proud of you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Paul's going to have a good year.
I don't know if they're your favorite point guards or not, but I know you like Rubio, and I know you like.
I like Rubio, and he's a former Sun. Had to take the current
What
Sun.
happened to his parents? I think when your parents leave, you're still their son.
Unless they disown you.
SUN.
Emancipation.
But unless
You a zombie.
no,
Jake was just pointing at
if
me,
you
and I
go
turned
with
to
the
look at him,
whole
about to
gender
poke me out.
transformation, then you would be.
Got to say
a
that.
former
Shut
son.
Okay. I don't think that's how.
Oh, you don't stop them about talking about my Johnson, but if you talk about changing genders, now wait just
About your poppy.
stop.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. I tried to get us off on the fantasy basketball.
Whoa.
Bad choice of words.
You can't be saying
Yeah.
that.
I'm trying to start us off.
Trying
Trying to start us off on the fantasy basketball, but that didn't work. All right. Never mind then. Let's just get down to business.
Oh gosh.
Look, man, you're just talking about it. There's nothing's up in there for you.
Now we're doing this podcast. Let's just get it on, okay?
When are we going to start the podcast?
We've already started.
You didn't
Oh.
click record.
Yes, I did.
You didn't do the intro.
Yes, I.
I didn't do the sound effects.
No, you didn't.
That's how I know we didn't do the intro.
I'll tell you what.
Let's restart this. I mean, usually says this.
Just act like none of this happened. You do your ladies and gentlemen. We'll just go from there. Just speed it up a little bit. Don't throw out the little lady part.
All right, let's try.
Now, hold on a second, fella.
Yep.
When you do it this time, make sure it's 2020 approved. You can only say ladies and gentlemen. What about all the other 47 made-up genders?
We're really getting in.
It's not even me this time.
Oh,
But he's happy.
Me? Yeah, okay.
all right, you ready? You ready? All right.
We're gonna talk about your Chubb letter. His prediction.
All right, give it a shot.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight the League of Ordinary Gentlemen proudly bring to you the Fantasy Football 5.
What happened
I
to
thought.
You were doing very good. Then you said plowed
Introducing Balls to the Wall, Brian Roberts. Quick Wit, Slow Feet, Ryan Roberts. Jake, Coach Fruit, and JT, the commish. How we doing, gentlemen? All right, so last week we had
Now do it really slow.
ladies.
Tours.
All right.
Too slow.
That's right. All right, so last week we had a couple barn burners.
Barn burners.
Burn the barn.
What is a barn burner exactly?
When the barn's on damn fire.
Okay.
It's on fire.
Is
Get
that
the
like?
hell out of there.
I've said that.
Shit's hit the fan.
Okay, all right. Well, then I feel like that's the appropriate way to talk about
On
this.
Willow Road?
Wait. Shit was getting sliced and then fans last weekend, let me tell you. All over the place. Shit everywhere.
Like a fecal Jackson Pollock. It's all over the walls.
I don't know why we're yelling.
I don't either.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
This might be the worst one we've done.
No, it's for sure.
Have we mentioned football yet?
No.
Well, he's trying.
All right, Rams Diddy
Bo.
went in to Monday night.
That's not what I was going to guess.
with
Like a
what, a
shot.
6-point lead?
Mhm.
No, I'm wrong.
He
I'm
was
wrong.
down.
He was down. Sorry. I'm wrong on that. He needed
basically 6 points.
Yeah, basically needed 6 points.
Now everybody had a barn burner, but Andrew, he got shed builder.
Had a shed builder?
A she shed.
Okay.
So
All right.
Now, as soon as the game starts, I'm pretty sure your defense gets like 14
Yeah,
points.
your defense
right off the
has
bat.
12 points as soon as the
It's
game
12.
starts.
So
12
he
as
was-
soon as it starts.
So he was up as
Yeah.
soon as the game kicked off.
And the only thing that had to happen is
Just
just
Minka
not what
Fitzpatrick to
happened.
get a touchdown.
Well, if they had a touchdown, it was over for sure.
Right.
The interception and
Right,
touchdown.
because I
Which
said
would you have said would be more likely to happen? The Jets beat the Rams or Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh?
which one's more likely? Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you would have
Without
said.
Joe
would be more
Burrow,
likely
would have
to
been
happen.
like that's the little wrinkle. But they've been in games this year. I mean, like, well, they've won games.
The
but
Steelers have been sleepwalking for about a month.
And it's a division game.
Still.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean-
but
Man, I mean, when you got Gio Bernard in the
Well, I mean,
backfield.
that's another. Gio's played pretty consistently since Mixon's, or yes.
Nah.
he
Yeah,
did well at the very beginning, and then when Burrow went down, like,
Everyone
then
loaded the
it's
box.
just
It was
like,
just,
oh,
stacking
wow.
the box against him.
And the Jets did the most Jet thing that the Jets could do.
Win.
Screw themselves out of the first overall pick.
So what does that mean for them? They'll take who to?
Everybody's got them taking
Penny.
Penny.
Which
Which
I
I
don't-
don't, I
You
don't
know
think
who
they'll
that
do.
really screws?
Carolina.
Cincinnati.
Which I understand taking Penny Sewell because he's a great left tackle prospect, but you can't move Mekhi Becton to right tackle.
They can. It's their organization. They can do whatever they want.
I would trade back.
I would too.
I trade up.
No, but the Jets will end up. They'll blow the
I'm
pick.
trying to figure out a way where
They'll blow the pick.
Penny Sewell.
What happens to Darnold next year?
It'll still be there.
Think so?
Mhm.
Okay.
Either that or he gets traded to the Patriots, the 49ers.
It's not really all Darnold's fault.
No, I'm not
The
saying it's
Jets
awful.
are
I mean, it's a
god-awful.
dysfunctional organization for sure.
They got Crowder. That's worked out.
Yeah, Crowder's been good. Frank Gore.
It's always been good.
It's just Frank Gore. Frank
Since
Gore's
like-
going to Frank Gore.
He's been good since the 80s.
Frank Gore now has the most starts at running back or games played at running back. He passed Lorenzo Neal.
Oh, look.
Lorenzo,
Fullback
yeah,
legend
exactly,
right there.
exactly.
I
Like
think he blocked for like 5 or 6 different 1,000-yard rushers in his
Yeah.
career.
I remember him best blocking for
Blocking for LT.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then Brian brought up that he finished in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I guess what was that?
I think he was blocking for McGahee then.
Is that McGahee?
I think so.
08-ish.
Oh, Big Dub.
Yes.
Big Dub McGahee.
Big Dub McGahee. All right, let's jump in.
But yeah, Andrew had it set.
Speaking of games played,
Yeah.
I think with Brady starting, if Brady starts on Sunday, he'll be the third non-kicker to start 300 regular season games.
Really?
I don't know who the other two are.
I can tell you who one
Right.
of them's got to be.
Brett Favre.
You daggone right.
I was gonna say, what's his name that played at the Jets forever and bounced around?
Vinny Testaverde?
Yeah.
I don't know. Games played. Games started. He didn't start all those. He played a lot, but he didn't start all
That's
those.
a good stat. If only we had the other two names.
I had some good trivia the other night.
Look it up.
What happened?
I did pretty good at them.
Oh, did you remember the questions?
No, I'll bring them up on Call of Duty.
Oh, okay. That's kind of what we do, I guess.
It's the only thing I'm good at in Call of Duty is just giving trivia questions when I'm dead.
All right, fellas.
All right, so let's look at this Autobahn Time versus Baba Booey, question mark Andrew Ransdale matchup from Week 15, Week 2 of the playoffs, Final Four. Both born on December 9th, just in different years. That's your stat of the night, by the way. Original projection 116 to 124 in favor of Brooks. Final 109.1 to 109.8 in favor of Brooks. Let's check it out.
Is this the closest matchup we've ever had in the playoffs?
I believe so. I cannot remember a matchup that came down.
Less than
The only one I can think of is
Less
me
than
and
a
Scorps in the championship, but I think that was like a point, maybe point and a
Yeah,
half.
I don't think I've seen one in the playoffs this close.
Under a point.
And it came down till
Final seconds.
all that had to happen all that had to happen is just Pittsburgh get a
A
sack.
sack.
That's it.
And I think they lead I'm not mistaken, they lead the league in sacks.
I believe that's true.
Did TJ finish the game though?
I know Derek didn't. He knocked out, but he plays fullback, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe that's the one I saw got knocked out. I remember
It didn't really
one of
matter.
them left.
All right, so
'Cause he's-
with that Rodgers and Devontae Adams combo that we talked about last week, it looked early on like Broach wasn't going to get it done. Rodgers on Saturday night, the Rodgers-Adams combo had him, 25, 26? A lot less than what we projected. And Ryan, you had the low on that at 37 and still overshot it by 11 points.
Yeah.
So those Saturday night games – or excuse me, the Saturday night game with Carolina and Green Bay really hurt Broach after coming off of Jacobs and Waller, who had huge games.
Yep.
So it evened the playing field a lot for Ransdale, a lot.
Yeah,
Because if Rodgers and Adams, if they go off, Ransdale has no shot.
because basically you
even
just
going
look
into
at it, and it's like you take Waller's number that he put up, and you give that to Rodgers. That's an average Rodgers game.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
you take basically what Rodgers put up, and you give that's what Devontae usually does in a half.
Yeah.
So I mean that basically averaged out with those four.
For the most part, yeah, you're right.
The wrong person, wrong kid died.
Wrong kid died. For Broach's team, so he was led by Darren Waller. Melvin Gordon against
Yeah.
Buffalo had a great game, 22 points. Jacobs 18.9. Rodgers 18.3. After that, everybody in single digits. Not the Broach week that we've come to see over the past month, but that's all he needed.
That's all I need.
That's all he needed. If one thing would have went differently for Broach, say if Amari Cooper, let's say he gets half of what he got. Let's say Amari Cooper gets shut out. He only had 2 receptions for 10 yards. He gets shut out. Broach loses. That 1.3 from Amari Cooper ends up being pretty big.
Yeah.
At the end of it.
I'm glad 1.3 is now considered big, boys.
Hey, when it's
Saying
this
there's a
close,
chance.
Ooh, buddy.
when it's this close, it's
Let's
this
make 4
close.
inches big again.
San Francisco with 1 point as his DST. 1 point.
One more touchdown.
If they don't have 1 sack right there.
Isn't the cutoff
Broach
like
loses.
40 something points where you get negative on defense?
45 in it.
Mm-hmm.
42.
I don't know what it is.
We could look it up.
Continue to talk.
So if just one thing would have happened,
Andrew can sub in anybody on his bench with the exception of Fournette for a med, and he wins.
let's take a look at his bench.
No,
So
35 plus points is -1, so it wouldn't have mattered if
Okay,
Dallas scored again.
all right, so let's see. So yeah, Watson. If he put Watson in for Cousins, he wins. If he puts Cooks in for who did he? He wouldn't have put Cooks in over Allen or Thielen.
Now I'm
No,
pretty
no,
sure
he would. The only one he would have done that he didn't do that he'll tell you is Baltimore for Pitt.
on
Yeah,
the pod,
hands
didn't
back
we
for
say because Ronald Jones wasn't playing because he had shoulder finger surgery or something that he should have put Fournette in for Tunyon?
If he puts Fournette in for Tunyon, if he
It
puts
would've been
David
done.
Johnson
He
in
would
for
have
Tunyon,
dominated.
if he puts Baltimore in,
I think we did
For
say that on the pod
Pittsburgh,
though.
We did.
we did.
that
Yeah,
Fournette needed to go in the lineup somewhere.
He could
Ryan
have made a
called
lot
it
of
perfectly when we talked about the defense.
Mika Fitzpatrick had to score a touchdown for Ransdale to win.
Just think if they would have had 0 sacks, given up 45 points,
It's a lot of women on the field.
all he had to
One
do
pick, one
was get a
interception.
pick 6. You get the point for the interception, point for the touchdown, he wins.
yeah,
That's not a point.
Points.
Points.
so yeah, he'd
Two
have got
for picking,
8
6 for-
off that.
Yeah,
that
and then you would have got
Negative
minus
one.
one for the
So
points.
he got 7, he'd have won.
He'd have won.
Think about it.
I said it was a guarantee. He had to have one for them to win.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, granted, I didn't think Keenan Allen was going to get like 2 or whatever he got, but he shouldn't have played to begin with.
So Ransdale, you said you talked to him Saturday night, and he said that he was done,
Yeah, he said it to us. He said there ain't no chance.
and it didn't look that way going into that Monday night.
We
game.
were on the phone with Nathan, and Nathan's just like, "Yeah, kid, you got no chance." And it was basically like saying everything that happened. This is also first half of the Panthers games where the Packers were just like marching up and down the field pretty easily, and then the second half happened, and that's literally Ransdale's like almost his glimmer of hope when Carolina gave up 3 points in the second half, and like Rodgers didn't do anything. Adams, I don't know if he had another.
Now
catch
watching
after
him
that.
Sunday.
No,
I
it
mean,
was
he's climbing.
It was all Aaron Jones.
He's
in the second
climbing.
half.
You know, every time he looks up, somebody's getting a touchdown. Somebody's got a big reception. You're like, for a while, I kept telling him, "Nah, brother, it's not. It's no way. You know,
Well, then-
he's not going to do it." And then it kept getting. I said, "Man, when we were leaving, I said, you got a shot."
I think the other big thing was Sunday night. I was texting him, and Chubb was having a rough start, and it was a late touchdown.
Sometimes you got to use that in there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
just
You gotta be
Spit
careful.
on it. Sorry. I went too.
What was that?
I went too far.
Okay. Yeah, he was talking to him about Nick Chubb getting off to a rough start, and he was
Okay,
just.
I'm going to interject there for a second. Pittsburgh's D has gotten no less than 6 points all season.
So it should have worked. It
Yeah.
should have worked.
Oh.
It should have worked.
I knew Rob was gonna.
I will say
Sometimes you got to just put it in there. Just lay it after and play it out.
Ramsey's had a good team all year, but yeah, Keenan Allen got hurt in that game, correct? Very
No,
early.
he hurt his hamstring before, like the week before.
Yeah.
And he was doubtful to play, and then they said him like last minute.
That's
him
right,
and Mike
yeah,
Williams
my
were
bad.
gonna play,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they basically only played him on third downs, and then the second half, I think he played like 5 snaps total.
And that was the Thursday night game, so we knew that coming into it.
Ever since Nick Chubb came back, I was scared to play Andrew's team, and then this week it just didn't work out for him.
It happens. It happens this way
Boy,
sometimes.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Sometimes it be like that. There's really not too much to talk about because 109 for both teams. I mean,
great.
there's really wasn't much that happened outside of like Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon was probably the saving grace of Broach's team.
Yep.
Like looking
You're
at
welcome.
it because Melvin Gordon hasn't done that. I mean, he's had
He was doing it before Lindsey came back.
Patrick,
Yeah, I think,
Phillip,
I think
Phillip,
Patrick
Phillip.
and Phillip got hurt in that game.
both of them.
But we talked about it. It's either going to be Rodgers and Adams or Andrew's 3 Vikings. And the Vikings did all right.
Yeah, Thielen didn't really do too much. Let's see. So Melvin Gordon, yeah, you're right. He started off the season pretty good. Weeks.
I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't put Watson back in.
Did he talk to you about
He
that?
said he was. He said he was going to do Watson, then he started talking.
Oh, that was
about
when
it.
he talked himself out of it. Yeah.
You got.
Because that's a lot riding on one game if you got 3 players.
Oh yeah. And this-
Especially going against his second
Last
favorite
game of
NFL
the
team.
season.
But I-
second.
I will say that like that was an opportunity.
You say third?
No, second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a good opportunity for him because both of those receivers had been collecting touchdowns. So I mean, I understood the call there.
I was just saying because they were playing Chicago. I mean, I know the other ones were playing Indy.
Chicago's gotten torched to there.
It's very true.
It's a lot of eggs in one
Like,
basket.
they've been giving up like
A
40
lot of
points.
eggs
Like,
on MTV basket.
I know, but I mean that's
That's the
That's what
risky
he's
run.
kinda
But I mean, they
hoping,
didn't play terrible. I mean, they
No,
put
I
up
mean,
decent
again,
numbers.
he's got 1 or 2 different starts and he's in the championship.
No way did I think this was going to come down the way it did. I talked to Broach texted me yesterday. Talked to him for a little bit. He said that he went to bed, like thinking again,
It's
it's
over.
over, it's done. We'll go to
Done.
bed, and he wakes up and he sees
He
that-
went to bed dead. He woke up alive. He's a damn zombie.
Zombie.
Man, I've been waiting 10 years to use that word. It actually made sense.
Oh,
I've done
God.
that before, but it's the opposite.
Yeah,
I'm
went
going
to bed. Oh, I'm good.
Lamar ain't gonna go for 35, and Dobbins ain't gonna go for 50 and wake
I
up.
feel like
and
this
see
happened
the
like
last
a week ago.
It did.
It did. I woke up and saw it. That's the last
2 straight weeks of some very
Wacky Monday game.
Yeah.
barn.
barn burners, shed builders,
Burn them barns.
hoot nannies.
Humdinger.
Yeah, there was a humdinger. That's a whole different
That's all
story.
different.
All right, so with that being said, Broach heads to the fantasy finals for the first time in his tenure as a manager in the League of Ordinary Gentlemen.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Big.
Congratulations.
Big.
We went 3 of 4, picked Broach last week. Brian, you were the only one that did not.
Loser.
So Brian goes.
But you got the win where it counts.
Yeah, it is.
Brian goes 0-1 there. But let's check out that second matchup of the Final Four. The 2v6 matchup, Jordan's football team versus victim of the system, Brian Roberts. I like your team name in fantasy basketball.
System seems fair.
Yeah.
What is
it? System seems fair. I was like,
Adequate system.
that's good. That's good.
That's fair.
That was good. I like that. I mean, that gave me a good laugh after I saw Dalton's more wonderful, and I'm like, good. And so then we kept chatting. Okay. All right.
I didn't get a compliment on my team name, did you?
I haven't made my team yet.
Yours is mid-range maestro. I've
It's always been
complimented you on
right.
that before.
Well, last year it
Do I
was,
have to
or
continue?
last year, but the last time we did it was Christian Claytheist, but he's hurt this year, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, there's a reason nobody told you that was a good name.
Mid-range maestro. Pretty good though. Mid-range maestro.
Yeah, stick with that. Stick with
That's
that.
wonderful.
Stick with that.
What is yours? Like Jake's flamboyant team?
Maybe.
Primo team. That's what
That's
it is.
a
Jake's
Jake's
Primo
Primo
team.
That was the default. I haven't changed my name. I had to see who was going to be on my team. I actually, in fantasy basketball, changed it up.
Well, if it was hockey and you drafted Keith Primo, you just leave it.
Spelled differently.
So how about this matchup from last week?
All right.
Keith
So
Primo was a hell of a player.
His brother was better.
I don't know who.
Brian versus Jordan, and man, this was a good matchup as well.
So you had a original projection of 120 to 116 in favor of Brian. Both teams outscored their projection. Let's take a look at it. So looking at, let's start with Jordan's team. So starting with Jordan's team, he was
What
led.
team you want to go with first?
Just go with Jordan's team.
Okay.
So starting with Jordan's team,
Starting Jordan.
Jordan
Let me get
had.
this stat up. Whose team are we looking at?
Look
think
at
you said
Jordan's
Jordan.
team.
Jordan's team.
Jordan's football team.
We're starting with Jordan's team.
Football team.
Football team. You don't go look at the
Don't
basketball.
check- Yeah, don't go look at Jordan's
Hold on.
basketball team.
Hold on. Whose team?
I think
Jordan's
Jordan.
football team.
Jordan's
Okay.
team.
All right.
We can look at him first or second.
Are we starting with me?
So we're
Let's
looking
look at Jordan's
Jordan's team.
All right, so
His team first.
yeah. So with Jordan's team, he was led along the way by 3 players scored over 20. Stephon Diggs.
Led along the way was this Lewis and Clark with Sacagawea. What's going on?
Yeah. There's 3 of them.
at. I mean, it does that up.
Oh, I can't make that
Works.
joke to the football team now.
So you had Stephon Diggs, 11 receptions, 147 yards, ended up
Nice.
with 20. J.D. McKissick, 107 total yards, touchdown, 21.2. Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's been hot past couple of weeks.
So hot.
So hot right now. 4 total touchdowns, gives him 30.
McKissick had 10 targets in that game.
Without Alex Smith.
Without
We
Alex
talked about
Smith playing. What was Dwayne Haskins doing?
He was.
something
I
else.
guess he's been watching.
Something else.
That he was doing after.
that. Him and Harden were at the strip club.
He was watching. Russell Gage had a good game, and that was a not a late pickup by Jordan, but not somebody that's
Well,
been
Gage and
rostered.
Sanders were both.
And Boyd was hurt, so he didn't have Boyd. That's the
He
thing.
started everybody he should have started. You look at his bench. He did all the right moves.
Le'Veon over Akers would have won it.
But nobody would have.
I said what I said. Jay.
Yeah, nobody was
Nobody
starting
would've made
Le'Veon
that
over
stuff.
Akers.
I
Not
wouldn't
after
either,
last
no,
week.
yeah.
And then Clyde going out. If Jordan
Was going to the championship, that would be big for him.
yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
But at this point, we don't know if Jordan's going to the championship or not. JT
oh,
was
that's
continued.
right. That's
Because
right.
we've only gone to one team.
We
That's
started with
right.
Jordan.
We started with his team first.
Yes.
Okay, let's go to victim
How many,
of the
how many
system.
teams are in this matchup, though?
2.
We've done one.
Done 1.
We've got one left to go.
Got 1 left to go. Let's go to Brian's team.
We're going with me now.
Victim of the system.
So we did Jordan first.
We did Jordan's team first.
Now
So
we're-
victim
now
of the
it's my
system,
turn.
So
Brian's
the system wasn't fair to you in one league, but it is fair to
Adequate.
in the league that he's in the finals. I mean, I don't know yet. All right, let's look at victim of the system.
Have to
So
persevere through
The
challenges.
switch continues.
much like Jordan's team, you were top heavy as well.
Mhm.
You had 3 players
I think
over
you're
20.
evenly.
I think you're equal.
Actually, I am.
No, he's not.
I am.
He's got a small head.
JT, I did want to except for our friendship.
All right, whatever. So with your matchup, Brian,
Brian.
you had 3 players score over 20. D-Hop, Calvin Ridley,
He's talking about-
Kyler Murray. So that Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins
So
connection.
hot.
That
Oh.
connection.
It's a super stack.
If we're going to keep doing this podcast, we need an HR. I got to have somebody.
Agree.
Everybody's listening. If your wife or significant other wants to be head of our HR,
Your wife?
well, a couple of them married.
Or significant other, if they're married to a dude.
Would be a husband.
It's still a significant other. It's just not gender.
Okay.
associated.
Anyway, yeah. Yep.
You're SO.
All right. So tell me about
Shut up.
your experience with
Again, one HR member. That's all we need. We'll fund it.
All right, on the doll. Where
So while we're sitting at
Tim, where are you?
while we're sitting at Roadies watching Andrew's team make this miraculous climb,
Uh-huh.
every time I look up at the screen, one of Jordan's players is just going off, scoring a touchdown. So like Jordan, I left Brody's at 4, and I mean it was done. It was done. We were walking out the door. I looked at Andrew. I said, "I'm probably going to need 70 between Murray and Hop." What would I get? 50?
You got about 60.
60.
Yeah, you got it right at 60.
So, but see, he still had Cam left. He had
Yeah.
Cam to go. He had Emmanuel Sanders left,
Mhm.
and he had the Rams defense. The New York Jets won me this week just as much as Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins did.
Yeah, because they're projected at 14.
They ended up with 5.
Yeah, and there's a 9-point difference right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta, I mean, I
It was
think,
supposed to be 27 between the Rams D and Akers, and they got 11.
yeah, Cam Akers got hurt. Cam Akers came back into the game after getting hurt, but
Didn't
That-
tell us
that was-
fantasy numbers.
no, it did. I mean, no, you can't tell it all there. Dude, yeah, the Jets definitely came through
Dude,
for
yeah.
old Big Rob, and you needed him.
Yes, I did.
Yes, they.
And we're sitting at supper, and I looked at Jake because I was killing me because I kept looking at my phone. It's the worst feeling in the world.
Oh, I know. I
Just wait
And
till
I
next
looked
week
at-
when you're sitting at the hockey game in the fantasy championship. Unless you didn't win this matchup. We haven't discussed
We haven't
it.
discussed yet.
Oh, we had.
But tell them.
So I look at Jake. I said, I need one big play from Murray to Hop, and not 2 minutes.
No, so a big play happened, and Yahoo's now sending out when big gains happen.
Yeah.
And so there was like a big gain, and I was like, dude, you're within like 3 or 4 points
Mhm.
now. And he's like, you serious? And I showed him. And then like he put his phone down, literally took a bite, and I got an update.
Of the phone?
No, food.
Oh, okay.
And it said touchdown to Hopkins, and I just started punching him in
Beat
the
the shit out of him.
I just started punching him. I said, dude,
I threw
dude.
out the chairs.
And he-
I another chair, broke it over my back.
Did you get mad at him like you got
My
mad at me
fa-
when I punched him with the punch buggy about 3 years ago?
Man, that was bad. We'll get to that.
Brian just looks at me and goes, what happened?
I didn't know.
And I
Well, I don't know.
I
What
said,
happened?
check your phone. He goes, oh. And he looked at me and said, I've won. I said, yeah.
I looked at my family. I said, I've won.
How did they respond?
You're all the payment I need.
That's good. That's real good. Good for you.
Looking around at all y'all won the
My
jackpot.
31-year-old son's playing fantasy football. That's fantastic. That's what I always thought.
And
he
you won your matchup.
Yeah.
You're going to the fantasy finals.
third.
Is he?
time.
How about
It's my
that?
third appearance.
Congratulations. Mazel tov.
Third appearance. So with that being said, we've got Brian Victim of the System versus J Bro Josh Broach,
Mhm.
Autobahn Time in the fantasy finals. One is going for their second title.
Mhm.
One is going for their first title.
One popped their cherry last week or this week. Popping the old.
Congratulations.
So if you are
HR. So these are two teams you imagine being in the fantasy finals
I thought
a
Brian-
month ago.
Do you have the sheet that showed which
No
teams
sheet.
we had in the? I don't know. Did we do finals or just Final Four?
We have
Final
Final
Four,
Four.
but the one thing that I guess could alter that was like the playoff seeding. Like some people, like Reitmeyer and Brian, like there was no way for them to both be in the fourth.
Right. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. That Reitmeyer and Brian matchup in the first week.
The fact that it happened.
Yeah.
If Reitmeyer had won,
Oh,
he would
What
have
did he put up? What did he
smoked
put up last week? 170.
Reitmeyer last week
173,
put up
175.
173.
That's so stupid.
He went.
173, and this week he's projected higher than anybody else at 134.
I don't even know. He ain't even allowed to do add or drop or anything like that.
So
Made his team better.
in week 8, so this was mid-season.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So mid-season, Jake, you said Broach, Brian, Baba Booey, Reitmeyer.
So you got 3 out
So
of
you
4.
went 3 out of 4.
Nice.
Brian, you said Broach, Brian, Ryan, and Baba Booey.
3 out of 4.
3 out of 4. JT said himself, which was stupid. Baba Booey, Brian, and Broach.
3 out of 4.
And Ryan, you said Broach, Baba Booey, Reitmeyer, and Scorp.
I changed it to myself with that arrow there.
Oh yeah, and then that was in week 11.
But it's still 2 out of 4.
A little footnote. So in all of
Who did you
these,
change yours down here to?
Ryan, other than me.
Okay.
So I still went 3 or 4.
And who did he change his to?
Ryan.
2 out of 4.
Ah,
With
dang.
11.
I didn't read all the footnotes.
And then who didn't change?
What are my footnotes?
Jake, stubborn as a rock.
Stay Trump, boys.
And you went 3 or 4. Three.
And I called those two as my championship.
All four had Broach in there.
Strive for 75.
All four had
I've
Broach
said
in
since the
there.
beginning of the
Wasn't the
season,
underline
Broach was the
the
best
ones
team.
we picked for the championship?
No,
No,
you're the only one
that's
that's got
just-
one underlined.
JT does a lot of doodling. while
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that for those that can't see the list right now. Under my name, Brian and Broach are underlined, so I think those are two I picked.
There you go.
So
Trying to make sure I didn't run anything.
there's no bonus.
I did say I thought Broach was going to be the number one seed at the end of the season. That did happen.
we should do live recordings next year where you can watch it like the Pat McAfee show. We call it the Josh Trogdon show.
We've talked about this. The
There's no way.
the- you'd
There's
have to-
just no way.
You'd have to have multiple cameras.
And
We'll drill in
and-
Jack's wall. He's not going to care.
You think he's going to care? He's not going to care.
you're talking about needing HR now?
Oh,
HD.
lawyers
HD.
would be involved in.
I got one.
HD.
We're good.
Yeah, we're gonna be in some trouble.
Apparently she's over there. I don't know.
So yeah, at
I think
midseason,
we're all over it at this point.
at midseason, we all had Broach in the finals, or at least in the final four. Three of us had Brian in the final four, and these are the two that we are going to
I
preview in the fantasy
I would
football.
like to say at the draft, I voted for the big guy for having the best draft.
I would like to say at the draft, I voted for Broach.
I think I voted for Brian as well.
I can't remember who I voted for.
A sober
Yourself.
Brian draft.
I got
is
drunk.
really-
draft.
You
I got
voted
drunk
for
this draft.
yourself.
I don't think so.
You did good though. I really did host it very nicely.
I mean, well, thank you. All right. That ain't much to say
You
about
want
the
to
fantasy
live
season.
record the draft next year?
Live record the draft?
Yeah, if it's not going to take 7 hours.
It's going to take 7
Yeah,
hours.
it's definitely going to.
Brian.
We always string the draft out. It's the best part.
It's
of
not
fantasy
even
football.
stringing it out. It just it's that difficult because there's no everybody knows each other's strategy. There's rarely
Except
any just
for Michael's.
Yeah,
His
that's
change-
right.
okay.
That is
Everybody
right.
typically knows everybody's strategy, and all the guys that are like, oh, big sleeper right here. Everybody knows this.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
It's really no
So you're
sleeper.
not you're
Uh-uh.
not surprising anybody unless you just go like out of left field,
Mhm.
and that happens. That definitely
Or
happens.
tight ends.
Like, and yeah, that Antonio Gibson going as early as he did, but I mean that turned out to be
Worked
a
out.
really good pick.
Worked out.
Next week, we can do a review of the championship matchup, and we can look at the draft board again and
I think we
reevaluate.
can even go back and say like who
Superlatives
was
is a good.
the oh, yeah.
End of the
well,
year
I was gonna say like
superlatives.
the pickup artists like Ransdale. Like I thought he had a lot of good pickups.
Ransdale's never been called a pickup artist.
I know that's why it would be funny to
Beep,
get
bop, beep, 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 beep.
Okay, let's do this.
Sure, I'll be over.
HR.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe we're not human resources. Is what we're talking about here.
Oh, that's what that stands for.
I thought you wanted to get your taxes done.
Yeah.
I thought we were doing round trippers. Home run.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got some four backers.
Yes.
All right, y'all ready to jump into this?
That's a baseball.
Y'all ready to go to the championship game?
I'm ready, but it's
Back
not
to
going to
back,
happen.
brother.
All right.
We're doing walkthroughs tomorrow.
9-4 Autobahn Time Josh Broach as the number 1 seed versus 6-7 victim of the system, the 6th seed. Let's take a look.
We're gonna wear all whites.
Of course, we
Going with the dark colored helmet.
Brian, you got your line.
First thing that I want to say is, hey, refresh your lineup because you got McCaffrey in and he's doubtful.
Yeah, I know.
You're not going to start it.
I know.
What are you doing? What are you doing here?
You trying to Michael Smith this?
No, just I gotta wait.
Wait for what?
Whoever I put in there is not gonna start.
What do you mean?
I gotta
He might be making a picky pickup.
A picky pickup?
Yeah.
Who do you think he's going to picky pickup?
I think if you look at
He don't want us to talk
take
about
it
it
to
in
a
case,
time.
in case Broach goes and picks him up. He don't want us to talk about it.
True. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So this is going to be different tomorrow night.
God, I hope I do.
All right. Well, I guess let's come back tomorrow and we'll take a look at it.
You want to talk about something truly impressive?
No, I'm all right.
Brian has gotten to the championship without the number 1 fantasy player from last year that his first round pick.
Should have been the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Oh, yeah.
Then
Yeah.
again,
Like, and the fact that he has been questionable, like everyone anticipating him playing for 3 to 4 weeks now, like he honestly thought he was going to have him back full playoff slate and maybe a week before then. And every week it's like, yeah, he's back this week for sure. He was questionable last week, was looking like he was going to play. And then they're like, yeah, we're not playing. which is leading me to also make the assumption that the Panthers are just doing a better job of losing games down the stretch than what the Jets are.
When are you putting this up?
Tomorrow.
Okay, we can talk about it. I got a claim in on Wilson.
Jeffrey Wilson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But who is San Fran playing? They're playing Arizona, correct?
Arizona, yeah.
I was trying to figure out
It's not him.
why you weren't going to pick
It's not him?
because you had just dropped Mostert. I was going to figure out if you were
Yeah.
going to pick up Jeff Wilson or Tevin Coleman,
Well,
but I would go
He scrolled
Wilson.
down
I'm getting ready to do it as we speak. I'm getting ready to add Tevin Coleman as my
Just as
safety back.
insurance.
So Gallman is not a play here.
Are you going to drop a Goombawale?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I don't like that.
They're saying he's
Why if Samuel was running back eligible, would you put him in there?
Curtis Samuel. Yeah, because Washington hasn't seen that type of player this year, kind of versatile type. So I could. I still.
I think Washington's turned into a top 5 defense.
Yeah.
think.
Well, with McCaffrey out, I took Indy out and put Washington in.
I don't think I'd start him or Anderson this week, which you're not doing.
Uh-uh.
I'm thinking I wouldn't listen to me anyways, but
It's a rivalry game.
Wow.
It is a robbery game.
Yeah. I mean, not
I
only
think-
because
I think
like
Ron's gonna have his crap together this week, man, because they're playing for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And let's also look at that. Like Washington's first or second in that division.
Did the Giants
still
win this
first.
past week?
No, they lost.
Did the Redskins or football
whoop,
team?
up.
I would
Reds-
like $5.
Dollar and jars.
I'm pretty sure both of them lost, right?
Pretty sure that's one of the least offensive things I've said so far.
Yeah, probably.
Who did the Giants lose to? Cleveland.
Yep.
And then Washington lost to because Haskins started.
All right, so here's what you got in the NFC East. You got Washington at 6-8. You got Dallas and New York at 5-9, and then you've got Philly at 4-9.
It's crazy that Dallas is still kind of like
They're one
Moving
game out.
around.
yeah. But I think because of what has happened within the division, they're out. Right?
Yeah,
I think they've been swept by both of those top teams.
they would have to win. I believe they'd have to win out, and both teams have to lose out.
Yeah.
All
They're in
right.
a playoff race.
So you've got, let's see, you got Kyler Murray and D Hop going Saturday at 4:30 against San Fran. Another
Which you
division
don't know
game.
who you're going to get from San Fran, but another playoff race. Seattle and Arizona and Rams all kind of in a tight race out there as well, right?
Yeah, I think they're all around like 8 or 9 wins.
Yeah. So that should be a really good game. There's a lot to play for right there. Kyler Murray and D Hop. If they can keep up that momentum coming out of last week, man, that's going to be big.
They looked good. That's the best they've looked since he hurt his shoulder.
Yes, agree.
For sure. Calvin Ridley going against KC.
Shootout.
I mean, you
That
got to
could be
hope,
big.
right? You
Yeah.
got to hope.
No, my wide receivers because James Robinson, he's got an ankle injury. He's not practicing all week, but
Okay.
they're going to play him. He says he wants to play. They're going to let him play. I wish Matt Rule would listen to McCaffrey and do that. But so it's my wide receivers have to carry me this week for me to have a shot.
Got Chris Godwin going in the Dome. Detroit. Need him to play big as well. Gesicki. So Gesicki's questionable right now. Gesicki was not in your starting lineup last week as he was out 2 weeks ago. Had a very big game. How are you feeling about him going into
I don't know.
this weekend?
If you look at his 3 weeks prior to getting hurt, 10, 19, 21. So maybe he can keep that trend up from 21 because the way Waller's playing, I need him to put up close to 20.
And
True.
Tua was targeting Smythe a lot in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's targeting a lesser tight end like Smythe, what's he going to do when Gesicki comes back?
Especially
right
considering
back
the
to targeting.
offense was a little bit stagnant.
Stagnant for sure.
So I think Gesicki could get a
Yeah.
lot of balls.
And he gets, yeah, of course he does. It's all about that Penn State life.
What was you about to say? He's about to say something weird.
No, that was it. He was about to get a bunch of balls.
He's a red zone
That's-
threat too.
Yeah, he's a freak athlete, man.
Mm-hmm.
I was big on Gesicki when Michael drafted him.
As his third tight end.
True.
Yeah,
He's in a bind.
huge. I mean, my team's
He basically
You got
was
that
big
bitch-
behind.
beat up as they could possibly be.
Your what speed up?
Team.
Starting Jameson Crowder this
Right.
week, I see.
He's in there for right now.
Who is
So Brandon,
Well,
you got
Robbie
a lot of question
Anderson.
marks going into a championship game.
Yeah, and more than I.
Well, waivers clear tomorrow, so.
waivers do clear tomorrow? Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see.
Or do they clear Friday? I don't know.
All right, well, let's take a look at Broach's team then. So
Okay.
with Broach's team, his lineup I don't see changing much outside of maybe Higgins. I don't know what he's got in waiver wise. His
Who's he got on the
defense can change. Let's see what his bench looks like. So Gurley's not even starting. Parker maybe.
Parker could be a start. It'd be him
Maybe
or
Kirk if he wanted to offset any possible touchdown to him with Murray.
Parker hasn't been the same player since Tua took over.
No. Gesicki's definitely been the biggest
Go-to
benefactor
guy.
out of that.
Yeah, it's Fitzpatrick throws to the wide receivers a ton and doesn't throw to tight end as much, and Tua's the exact opposite.
Yeah, there's
I
really
don't-
not
I don't-
much
I don't
on
dislike
Broach's
that.
I didn't
bench.
know he had
Kirk Collar.
Singletary.
Yeah.
He picked him up when I think
Jordan, because I
dropped
traded
him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not really much I see. I mean, maybe he starts.
I don't know,
His
man.
defense. I don't know. Not over Miami.
I wouldn't
though.
be surprised if he didn't look at Singletary against a beat up New England team, and I think it's a message that Buffalo's wanting to send in that game. Like, there's a.
They've already
New
clinched the
top-
division, and now they just
but-
want to rub it in their face.
I think. I mean, think about what the Patriots have done to them for the last
Oh, for sure.
20 years, man. Like,
It's the first division title in 25 years.
or maybe they pull Allen early and Singletary's in there and gets some run. Like,
At quarterback.
I don't know.
If he puts in somebody in his flex that scores a touchdown,
It's
then he's
he's-
done a good job.
yeah.
Because everybody else looking at his starting lineup has
and has good matchups.
Brian, how does it feel seeing Melvin Gordon on the other side when you're running
I
backs are as hurt as
wasn't.
they
Didn't have
are?
a problem with it until
That's what I'm saying. But with
3
your,
weeks ago.
with your running backs as hurt as they are right now,
I don't know. I was thinking about today.
The other one I do want to point out
Making
is
a deal with the
Tennessee's
devil.
defense has been god awful, and their offense has still been putting up points. Does that kind of worry you with the Rogers
little
Adams?
shootout game.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who they're playing. Yeah,
Well,
Rodgers
they
and
did last
Adams.
week.
They
They
did
did last
Carolina.
week.
They played at
But,
Carolina
I mean,
Panthers
we
team.
can't sit here and look at it and say, well, yeah, look at last week. Because when we were going
Why
last
not?
week, we're sitting there thinking, they're going to put up a lot of points.
They're also playing at home, and there is chance for snow.
I need there to be a ton of snow.
They cannot throw.
But
it.
Rogers.
there's no quarterback I trust in the snow more than Aaron
Brett Favre.
Rodgers.
Tom
But-
Brady.
No, I don't trust him as
Well,
much.
he just
as
gets a
Rodgers.
ref in that situation.
Dude, Brady's like.
Well, that was that one game where
Well,
Moss was there where he just was torturing people. but
Yeah, I can't remember who that was against, but it was like
For
was
me, it's-
embarrassing.
Aaron Rodgers throwing in the snow and LaShawn McCoy running in the snow.
There's
That's
nobody
it.
better in
No,
football.
that's
than
LaShawn
That's all I
McCoy in
want.
the snow,
That's
for
all
sure.
I want.
Yes,
Everybody's sliding all over the place. McCoy's just running like he's in Miami.
Honestly, God, I think that's why
Well, man, I think he's
Tampa
from-
Bay picked him up. Was like Tom said.
Yeah, because there's a lot of snow at
Look,
Tampa.
man, in case we got to go. Well, no, if we got to play a playoff game
Oh,
in
yeah,
snow
that's true.
condition,
Yeah.
like we need him.
Yeah, maybe. High 34, low 23, playing at home, possible snow showers. It's hard to predict what's going to happen in that game,
Right.
because of those factors.
Mhm.
That might be a big let's try to handle the clock situation with Tennessee. Maybe they're not throwing it as much.
And what sucks for
Oh,
Brian,
Tennessee's Tennessee's game plan is to just run the ball.
Run the football,
problem
and then,
is
and then Ryan
The
Tannehill
running
takes some
back's so
shots.
good
Can
that
we-
he
Tannehill's been lighting it up.
He has.
Can we on this episode be in the championship position by position breakdown? Who we go with?
All right.
We ain't done that in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Hadn't.
But this is for all the marbles.
You know what's gonna suck though?
What?
Broach has Rodgers and Adams going as the Sunday night game.
Ugh.
So Brian could be up by like 50 or 60 and still be sweating bullets because that
Y'all
Sunday
really
night
know how to
game's
make a
going
guy feel good.
on. Just trying to build suspense before we go from position
That's
by
true.
Because
position.
my guys are done. My main guys, Murray and Hop, they're done Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Saturday night, I already know my quarterback.
Let's go by position, but we'll alter a couple things.
Okay.
Alter a couple things. So, all right, Rodgers versus Tennessee at home Sunday night game against Kyler Murray, 4:30, San Francisco on Saturday. Who you taking there?
We'll say, Brian, let's get Brian out of the way first, because I feel like most of his picks should be
See you, Brian.
should be his.
All right, Brian. Who you feeling in that matchup?
I'm gonna take Murray in that one. After last week, I'll take Murray.
I agree with that. I'll take Murray as well.
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
Oh,
I think it's gonna be a shootout.
Wait a minute.
All right. Let's look at the top receivers. So let's go. Let's switch these two and let's look
All right,
at
Hop-
Devontae Adams versus DeAndre Hopkins. So let's go ahead and get that double up out of the way. All right. So Hopkins Hopkins.
Well, we know where JT's voting.
Hopkins and Adams. Who you take?
Hop.
Adams.
I'll take Hop.
Hop.
All right, so y'all are both going with the
Not a good
Green
poker
Bay.
player over there,
Y'all
huh?
are both going
Yeah,
Green
I'm
Bay,
going
and then
Green
you
Bay
both
still.
going Arizona. Okay. Ridley versus Lockett. Ridley going against KC. Lockett going against the Rams. Both Sunday games.
Ridley.
Ridley.
Yeah, it's hard.
I mean, he's going to have to score a lot of touchdowns in this game for my projection to come right.
Here's the only
I'm
thing.
fine with that, though. I'm fine
Here's
with
the
that.
only thing Lockett does kind of have in his favor in this one. I'm still staying
He's got a
with
good
my
quarterback.
He's not going against Jalen Ramsey.
Ramsey's going to follow DK. So
For
I
sure.
think that could lead to more targets for Lockett because,
But
again,
in Marcus Peters on the other side?
I don't know who they're
Yeah.
I think Marcus Peters is their number
And
two.
they got an insane defense.
I think-
Who would you rather throw it?
With a
Losing
terrible
to the
offense.
Jets.
I thought Peters was in
Or is that
Baltimore.
Baltimore?
Yeah, Peters is in Baltimore, big guy. They traded in that trade to get Ramsey.
Peters was at Kansas City.
Yeah, but then he got traded to the Rams, and then he got dealt
I
again.
thought they had another good corner in there, but it might not be Peters.
No, it ain't Peters. I know he's at Baltimore
Who's the corner?
because he's the one that spit on.
Oh, it was Akeem Talib, but he doesn't do that now. He does announcing.
Who said? Landry. Landry said he spit on.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got an update for us. Who is that corner? Because we're just gonna go on if you don't have it.
It's not. It's,
It's
not.
not.
Peters.
I'm telling you.
Troy Hill.
Oh, Troy Hill.
You don't know nothing about him.
I don't.
You
Yeah.
know, you know his brother though, Dule.
Dule Hill. I do.
Yeah, I'm right.
You heard about Pluto? It's messed up, right? All right. Third receiver matchup: Amari Cooper, Jamison Crowder, both projected at 10 point. There's 0.1 difference between them. Cooper against Philly and Crowder against Cleveland. Brian.
Cooper this week.
Coop.
I'm gonna say Crowder because I ain't really seen much from Cooper lately. He just finds a way to like score a touchdown. And if he doesn't score a touchdown, then I think he's gonna have a hard time. I'm gonna take Crowder there.
If Darius Slay's still out, I'm taking Cooper all day. If Darius Slayer's playing, I'm still taking Cooper.
All right.
I am agreeing with Ryan. If Slay is out, I'm taking Cooper. But I'm going to say if Slay is in, I'd take Crowder.
Is Denzel Ward out for the year for Cleveland? I feel like he hadn't played in a while.
Who? Yeah, I ain't seen
Denzel
Ward
Ward.
in forever.
Nah,
The
dude.
top
They've been
corner
getting-
they took from Ohio
Let's
State
see.
like 2 years ago.
All right. Melvin Gordon playing against the Chargers. Little
Rival week game, revenge game.
revenge game. I was gonna go
Revenge.
with that. Yeah, revenge. And then James Robinson going against Chicago. James
Revenge.
Robinson, you said questionable, but he's going to play. All right, are you taking in that?
Melvin Gordon.
I think I'm taking Melvin Gordon as well.
I'm taking Melvin. Chicago's done pretty good
James
against
Robertson, take that, funky cat.
All right.
I don't like you, Melvin.
Josh
I
Jacobs
do.
versus Christian McCaffrey. Who you taking?
Let's say Jacobs versus
I'm looking at my screen. It says
other
Tevin Coleman.
player.
That's what it says on yours?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to refresh. I'm going to take Josh Jacobs,
Mm-hmm.
Either way.
whoever you start.
Mm-hmm.
Now, speaking of our projections for the year, Jacobs needs to have a good,
If
real good game.
he needs
for
to
us
have
come out.
2 really big games for me to be right on my bold prediction. I think I looked last week. He's 6th in fantasy points by running backs, so not far off.
Mm.
But like I didn't expect James Robinson.
Nobody did.
There was another one. Well, I didn't expect Dalvin Cook to stay healthy a whole year.
Very
No,
true.
yeah.
Yeah. The other 2, I guess I understand. All right, so yeah, tight end matchup. Waller. They're playing each other.
Yeah,
Well,
Waller.
they typically are. Waller. All right, Waller versus Gesicki. Going
Gesicki.
Waller,
Yeah.
Waller,
Gesicki.
Waller.
Gesicki.
You going Gesicki?
Yeah,
Gesicki.
Gesicki's good. You getting sick with a Gesicki.
Gesicki.
Yeah.
You're not going Gesicki. Are you really?
Okay.
Are you or are you not?
I haven't wavered. JT's the one that's trying to talk me out of it.
Gesicki.
Guys going Gesicki. Okay.
Let's go score twice.
Boy,
Let's write it down. Let's write it down.
Take that, Raiders.
Gesicki.
You're just doing all these like hating your division opponents.
Dag, I'm right. It's working out so
All
far.
right. So what do you want to happen with Melvin Gordon?
Why,
Like, do you want him to have a
What are you
big game
cheering
against
for,
the Chargers? Do you, even if the Chargers win?
First play.
What are you
You
cheering?
want
It's
to see
not my
Melvin
fantasy
Gordon?
team,
want
so I
the
don't care.
Chargers?
I'm saying, do you want to see Melvin Gordon do well? That's what I'm asking.
Do you want
Not
the
against
Chargers
the
to win?
Chargers.
Okay.
Do you want the Chargers? to
No,
win?
but I don't want to see another team succeed against them. I'm torn. I'm rip torn.
I'm not. I pull for the Panthers to lose now. There's no chance of playoffs whatsoever.
I'm still fine with losses as long as the teams don't play good against us. We just happen to screw up so our coach gets fired. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, just get blown out by a division opponent. He's fired.
Go ahead.
All right.
Because that
The
hurts my
flex.
guy. That hurts my big guy over here.
I'll go Goblin. Thank you,
Godwin.
Bubba.
Yeah, right now we got Rashad Higgins
Godwin.
versus Godwin.
Still
Godwin.
Higgins.
Godwin.
Godwin.
If it was T. Higgins,
There's
I would think about it.
Still going Godwin. And then your defenses, you got
Washington.
Miami and going against Las Vegas, and you got Washington going against Carolina.
I'm going Washington.
You going Washington
It's tough
in
to
that?
go against Washington.
I might
Is
take
Mariota
Miami.
starting for Vegas?
I think so.
If
Right.
Mariota's starting, I think I'm going to go with.
Let's check that.
Yeah, Mariota's starting.
Yeah, but he doesn't turn the ball over.
He does.
He did good when he came in last game.
He did do good when he came in last week.
And if he's in the game, I think they're going to run the ball more, which is another reason why I kind of went Gesicki over Waller.
Okay. This is that. Okay, I see.
Still
where
feel
you're
like when he
coming
throws it, he's going to throw it 10 times or 12 times to Waller.
from. Probably
He dumped it down a lot to Waller and Jacobs when he came in last week against the Chargers.
the Chargers. All right. So we've got 122, 113.
Wasn't his
Is our new
favorite
live
target
projection.
Tennessee, the tight end? Ain't
What's
that-
up?
Delaney
Yeah,
Walker.
Delaney Walker.
Yeah, I thought so.
I just don't have too much faith in Mariota.
He actually looked good.
That offense looked better with him
Yeah.
on the field.
I actually put up a lot of points when he went in.
Why
But
gotta
you
bring
think
that
he's
up,
better
dude?
than Derek Carr? You think he's just a
Dude,
spark?
I think it's one of those situations kind of like Tannehill. I think getting out of Tennessee where so much pressure was put on him,
Mhm.
like I think he has
Drafted to be the savior
yeah.
type
I'll
thing.
tell you
But
what,
he
you don't
has
know a
a
lot
skill
about
set.
his team after Saturday night. But have his defense going, his tight end going, one of his running backs going.
I think we'll know more about yours.
I think we'll know more about yours as well.
Yeah.
So, all right. So going into Sunday.
You've got 4 out of 10 going on Sunday. The other 6 are going on Monday. I mean on Saturday.
So yeah, you got 6 players going on Saturday.
Saturday.
But nobody going on Friday.
Nobody going on Friday for either team.
No Saints, no Vikings.
How much do you feel like how many points do you feel like you need to have going into Sunday?
Going into Sunday,
Going into Sunday. So
Or
you
is
got
it-
you
or
got
is it
4
easier
players
to say
going
what you
Sunday.
think
probably
you need as a
about
final?
75 to 80.
Okay. What do you think the winning score is going to look like?
The winning score,
What are you gonna need?
I think it's going to be a low scoring week.
All right, let's make some
There we go.
some point predictions.
I'll go 115 as your median.
Oh, median.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you
Explain.
say
What's
the
a-
winning score?
What's a median?
That's a good base to go off of.
Oh,
Could
is
be a little
this?
bit higher than 115.
Well,
lower.
Okay, a
Are we doing
median
over-
between 2 numbers
No, I'm
is
talking about
basically a
as-
mode. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Like,
you're right.
If there's-
there's nothing there.
If there's 2 numbers, median and mode are the same thing.
Right, that's what.
Because a mode is you take both numbers, you add them together, divided by the number of participants, and the median is you take both of them and pick the middle.
I know how medians.
You
But I'm
don't. You don't.
saying
You don't
there's
draw
2
both of them.
teams.
That's how
I
they
don't know
work.
how they work. All right, so let's not go median. Let's go.
I'll
Hold on,
say
hold on, hold on. Let's go.
Over under.
Let's go point predictions for both teams, but don't tell me who wins.
okay.
Can you do that?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're going to give me this. Second.
Yeah. I'm going to think about this too. All right, I'm going to say I'll start this off. I'm going to go.
He's writing down. He's writing, trying to write really small. Fire truck. What color is that red fire truck?
Saying 130 to 117.
All right.
13
I got
is the answer to
mine.
that question.
I was actually already had 129 in my head as the winning team, and losing team. I'm gonna go 121.
Ryan.
144
Wow.
Oh,
to 118.
Brian.
117, 102.
All right. Now, who's your winners?
Broach.
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 You
You
Brian.
know, we are
He's right
recording
down,
this, so
Brian.
we don't have a lot of dead air.
Brian.
You've got me winning what?
130 to 117.
Damn. All right.
130 to 117.
I got you about putting the same total.
Yeah. We got some very close totals.
I don't.
Me and Jake are like almost the same. We're not too far off there. Yours is definitely different, Brian. 117 to 102. So Jake, Ryan, and Brian all taking Broach. I'm going with Brian. I'll tell you why I'm taking you, Brian. I think your receivers. I'm banking on them having a big week with Kyler, D-Hop, Calvin Ridley.
Kyler doesn't play receiver.
Well, I know. Kyler, D-Hop
He's
connection.
tied to-
Godwin, I think they all have good weeks. I think that helps you out. If Gesicki scores 2 touchdowns like Ryan's saying, then I definitely think 130 is
Yeah, we'll
I think 130 is
see.
doable.
But no, look, I've said since draft night, Broach has the best team. He's my
got
favorite
really
to win
good
the whole thing.
matchups too, man.
So I can't say I'm certain. It's the first time I've ever picked against myself in playoffs. Bet against me. But it's Broach has got too good of a team to go against. You're looking at me like you feel sorry for me.
You going in with a defeatist attitude.
I am. I'm going in with a realistic attitude. I can't have much optimism in championship week. Y'all know that.
Why?
Huh?
I don't
Yeah, it's like you don't want to have any hope. You don't want to give yourself any hope. You go through, you do the best you can, making sure you get the right guys in, but you don't want to put a lot of hope behind it. If you go in expecting to win it,
Hope for the best, expect the worst.
I don't know. Just expect the worst. No hope.
No
No. Just expect the worst.
All right, that's the way you live your life.
Yeah. Plus, I mean,
Quarter mile at a time.
I've held on to McCaffrey the entire year with them saying, all right, so he's not going to play this week, but 2 weeks from now. So then, all right, bypass that week, get to the week that he's supposed to come back. All right, so he's not going to play this week. They're going to just go ahead and sit him, but he's going to come back. And
What if
then,
he plays next week?
If
Then
he
that's
plays
just-
next week, David Tepper is going to fire Matt Rule.
I'll say this.
So
I think a lot of what has to do with McCaffrey's injuries this year is the fact that Brian didn't let him go to number 3 and took him at number 2. If he had fallen to number 3, I think McCaffrey plays a full season.
Who had the third pick, Jerry?
That's right. It was me. Okay.
we're all talking about
Can
this
we
whole thing
also
about
talk-
Brian having McCaffrey and not being able to play him the entire year. If Michael would have actually taken McCaffrey, Brian would be in the same situation with Saquon, but he just wouldn't have to have this headache
Absolutely.
of should I
That's
start
true.
him, should I
That's
not?
true. Your
He
team would
would've dropped
probably
him
be
a long
better.
time ago.
Yeah, he'd have had an extra roster spot pretty much. He wouldn't have dropped Melvin Gordon.
No.
And you'd have been a little bit more aggressive, like probably free agency wise, because you wouldn't have this
Blooming
I
thing.
wouldn't
Hey,
have
I
had
need
to- I
him. I'm
wouldn't
just waiting for McCaffrey.
I wouldn't have had to have made. Well, I also lost Mostert. You got to remember that.
That's true.
I'm not finishing the season with my top 2 running backs. I'm finishing the season with a guy I picked up right before the season started.
Who's been a top 5 running back.
And
roll the
the,
dice.
the switch continues.
That's Russell Roulette.
So Broach has stayed healthy all year for the most part.
For the most
Had
part.
to have a whole lot of concern.
Who was his first round pick?
Jordan.
Jacobs. No,
No,
yeah.
Devontae Adams.
Adams Jacobs.
Yeah, it's Adams.
Adams
He had
Jacobs was on
10.
the turn, so it
Yeah, he had
doesn't
10.
matter,
So, yeah, Adams, Jacobs,
And then
Deanna, I guess.
I think Jordan's
I think it was
had a pretty,
Cooper.
Took Cooper.
Jordan's had a pretty safe team all year.
Yeah, Antonio Gibson getting hurt at the end of the year hurt him.
Yeah.
Like if
Big
Antonio
time.
Gibson.
The only injuries.
Oh
that
yeah, he
Broach
got
has-
his injuries at the worst time.
Yeah.
Broach
Michael
really had.
Thomas.
I think he lost Devontae Adams for like a week.
Yeah.
Jacobs for like a week, and then Gurley started getting tendonitis, but that's whatever.
Yeah, that's.
I said like 5 or 6 weeks ago that Broach had a very good team, but he didn't have a very deep team, so he had to stay healthy.
Now, I
He's
get
done it.
confused on the conversations because there's conversations that me and him have playing Call of Duty. And there's conversations all 4 of us have playing Call of Duty. He asked me, I don't know if y'all were on there or not. He asked me,
Probably not.
where does this season lie with y'all? And I told him at the gate, there's nothing touches last season. Last season was the best year of fantasy football we've ever had.
It was mom.
It
I don't
was
know.
I don't
a
think
top
so.
to bottom competitive.
I don't think so. I didn't pay attention last year.
Well,
we
let me
talked
say
about
this.
But
it.
I did say this year was by far the craziest year we've had.
Go.
And that's the thing. COVID didn't play as big of a factor this year. As
I mean, we had
anticipated.
Tuesday night football. We had
We did.
Wednesday night football.
We did, but I mean, nobody really I think there might have been once or twice key players had to sit out for COVID.
Yeah.
Overall, it didn't really affect us the way we hoped. If we were told what has happened was our best outcome, I think we would have accepted that.
Yeah,
I mean, we legitimately got all the way to championship week without having a week canceled.
Yeah.
Which we thought there was a good possibility that the whole season would get shut down.
Yeah.
Oh, it came out the gates crazy.
Especially when that whole Tennessee
Pittsburgh,
situation,
Tennessee, that,
Baltimore happened.
Yeah, that got wild.
Here's the one thing to go against kind of what Brian just said is like, other than Michael kind of going on that run to make the playoffs, like teams I kind of thought were going to make it made it. The better teams won, in my opinion, in the playoffs for the most part. And then you and Broach were two of the teams, even mid-season, most people said.
Yeah, but you're looking at the overall. I mean, the things that happened throughout the year.
Well, I'm saying, like, yeah, there was a lot of injuries, but again, you're talking about non-off-season training and how many of them were just sitting at home. Like, you knew kind of some of that stuff, COVID testing, how many had to get quarantined. Like, those things I think we were all kind of anticipating
but
going
it still
to happen.
happened. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they happen every year. Big injuries.
Not like that. Not like what's happened this year.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. Not to that point. No.
I think your star players, like that's like a lot of them either got
They're
hurt
over here
or just kind of
going
fell
over
off completely.
Players get hurt every year. I mean, that's obvious, yeah. But I mean, just
Well, I mean,
on the
big time
scale
players
that
get
happened.
hurt. Like, Dalvin Cook's missed.
When's the
a
last
long
time we had a fantasy year where the number 1, number 2 picks basically missed the season?
Saquon had a lost year last year with high ankle sprain. I think he missed like 7 or 8 weeks. I think he went number 2.
But he missed 15 games this year.
But I mean, he's still saying he missed significant time. And then even like Dalvin Cook has gone early rounds and he's missed big time.
That's
throughout
crazy.
the-
Dalvin
Dalvin
Cook's
Cook's
crazy.
staying healthy.
We
He
even
missed-
talked about
Will
Adams.
Fuller stayed healthy.
We talked about Adams missing significant
Yeah, I
time.
lost, like,
Rodgers has
6
missed
weeks
significant
of
time
Adams.
in seasons.
Dalvin
before.
Cook missed like 4 games last year, though. I mean, that's
Playoffs.
it's big, but that's not like missing 15 games.
I'm telling you, there's still big
They're taking
injuries that
a
hurt.
feminist approach to it.
Like, I mean, that's the way I like. Like, I see what you're saying for sure.
But
And then,
even
like,
the teams that suffered those losses made it to the playoffs.
The Browns have a double-digit win season.
yeah, that's wild. Never saw that.
Pittsburgh went from the best team to probably going to be the worst team in the playoffs.
Miami might make the playoffs.
Mhm.
And dude, I didn't think that was possible.
All they did was add a quarterback.
Brian Flores has turned that team around. I mean, they were
Sure.
competitive towards the end of the year last year.
Yeah, they did.
And they've just been well coached.
And then them benching Ryan Fitzpatrick, we all was like, "Oh man, what are they doing here?"
I still don't
But
like that move.
I like it now, man.
I mean, it fits a style of play now. Run the ball, play defense, just don't turn the ball over. Fitzpatrick's like, nah. Hold my beer.
Yeah.
I'm slinging this pigskin there, fella. I ain't played for 17 teams and not know how to throw. That's what he does. He's a modern day Brett Favre.
You got something to say to that?
There's never going to be another Brett Favre.
Thank God for that.
So $500 on the line. Winner take all. Brian versus Broach. Autobahn Time versus Victim of the System. It comes down to this week 1v6 matchup. We'll review it next week, and somebody's going to be $500 richer.
Well, if I win, I'll be $450 richer.
No,
Because
you'll be
I always
$500
give-
richer, but you make a donation.
I always give second place their money back.
$600 is not enough for the American people.
Don't, man. I've done so good.
But
Have I not?
But
have I not done
$500
so
billion
good?
going to
I've
foreign
done
nations.
good.
That's worth
I've
good.
kept my mouth shut.
Done good.
But did that SOB not veto that shit last night?
You got that right.
Get on it.
All right. We will see y'all next week.
Love it.
Later.
I got you fired up at the end. That's all that matters.